All right. Good morning, YouTube. Out there. Quick video preview of the volcano to start the morning. Read the video. Who we got out there this morning? Mr. Barry Wood. Yeah, just playing the video. Sorry. I knew a way to pipe through the. There's got to be. I know how to do the internet to play through the chat. I do it. This guy's over here running his mouth. You hush up. We'll get to you later. All right. So, yeah, quite the big explosion in Indonesia. Yesterday, global warming right there to kill every liberal you know. So once again, a scenario to review. Obviously, most of us don't have to worry about volcanoes of that size, but we still have several here in St. Helens, Mount Hood. We got Mammoth Mountain down here, southern California, to the south of us. Could all potentially one day do something very similar. The peak, the shot of ash more than 6 feet into the air, taller than every mountain in the United States, for example. No injured deaths is good, which it's been fairly active over the last few decades. Move away from it, which would be good idea. It's one of 3 currently erupting in Indonesia. This individual one has been dormant for 4 centuries when it exploded in 2010, killing 2 people. And killed 16, and 7 died in 2016. So it's been pretty, very, very, very active. So people have moved away, I guess you would say. People have learned that would be a true migration, true refugees, if we wanted to use an example. But otherwise, everybody in the central U.S. is getting wet, ice, or snow from all the way up to Minneapolis, it looks like. All the way out to Great Lakes. Looking pretty. Hey, in this wood the pigs are they're looking more like bacon every day. 60 feet long checks in, and yes, this monsoon looks like it's on your way, Barry or Imlong. I think our weather is very similar, Barry. We're at about 9 degrees, 8 degrees right now. I think I don't want to step outside. The pyroclasm, the ash from a volcano, pretty much anything you try to fill with air, and yeah, don't drive a vehicle. Any type of rebreather mask is going to clog up fairly quickly if you're in the ash cloud or in the fallout once it starts just kind of like on you. 01 Crime checking in. Walter Davis, good morning. 11 degree, negative 11 in Montana. But chillier than us. I ain't going to complain then. Really a little chilly on the back end of this storm, as they were saying. Have some snow coming your way as you got snow and rain out there in the Pacific Northwest. So just cyclone peak these last 3 or 4 weeks. Wet weather douses the central U.S. and just moves east and just cycles through. Every 3 days, it's like winter. We started off, for those that might have missed it, you might want to rewind. We started off with the explosion of the volcano in Indonesia. Lots of footage if you want to go check it out. Crom, stay inside. Moving on, where to start? Oh, goodness. Where do I want to start? Rich people are buying bunkers. This is from a article in the UK. And we briefly talked about this a couple of weeks ago. We talked about that bunker builder was making millions out in Texas. So you get inside one of these bunkers. um, New Zealand place to kind of get away from. That's one of the places they're keying in on here. The PayPal billionaire, Peter Thiel, I guess is his name, sees New Zealand as a good place to go to. Now it's already overcrowded. He bought 13.5 million, 193 hectares. Hectares are bigger than acres, right? Down along this lake, I guess, to get our bug out location, permanent location there, for that matter. Apocalypse bunker means different things to different people, I believe. Some of us don't quite have a way. As after every major event, the NRA is getting harassed about their convention site. It was in locations over the last couple of years where they've been moved their location. I think it was at St. Louis after Ferguson, etc. It seems like they've had it in these places. The mayor or whatever comes after them to ask them to move their convention. It was nearby there, etc. But to go along with this, did everybody see this idiot of the day? Well, you need to have an idiot of the day section. The AR-15, which is not an AR-15, it's 30 years old. It's a M1 variant, M16 variant, I believe. Original AR-15, I guess is what you'd say. My bad, not an M4. He's a New York firearm owner, which already puts him in a separate class. More than years, this is his sob story. He took his 30-year-old AR and destroyed it because he didn't want to. He was concerned whatever hands. It's like saying, I want to get rid of my car because I'm afraid I'm be in an accident. So Mr. Papalardo, that's quite the name. I think there's a special word for people like this, and none of them are good. So I guess he did this video saying about how much of a travesty it was. Here, on on video. I don't get it, people. What is wrong? It's a mental illness. Mental illness looks like associating things that have nothing to do with you. We change. Did you see this video, Walter? Sorry, I'm real quick. So he said something really important there. He said, "Is own this weapon more important than someone's life? To own that weapon protects your life." Cognitive dissonance, right here, fellas. Crom. Yeah, I think you're right, Crom. It is still functional. That is the irony right there. So the week any worse than made a SE trail Crom. Good cat, operable. He'd have been better off melting the bolt down and destroying the lower receiver, I guess, if you go off the ATF station. Sad state we live in. Am I coming back through a little bit better? It says I am on this end. I don't know if it's paradox, Barry. It's just mental illness. Liberalism is a mental disorder. The Dow is down this morning as Walmart came in with low earnings. As it says, consumer e-commerce it's not stopped, slowed down. It's not growing as fast. Yeah, I wonder if somebody called him into the ATF for making an SBR. Oh man, oh, I don't think anybody else has mentioned that yet. That's hilarious because Randy Weaver almost got his family killed for a lot less than doing that right there. Just to point red on the commodity side, oil just flat, caught up, but it opened 100 about 15 minutes. It helped Truth Freeze in the decision to cut that rifle up. But in similar news, gun control, Times, how banks could control gun sales if Washington won't. Real talk right here. If you go along the lines that the Fed runs everything anyway, what are they going to? How are they going to stop shooting? Stop us from how it gets funded? Card companies, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, First Bank, et cetera, set guns in America from the credit card level. So don't buy with a credit card. Don't people start buying with cash lately anyway? We've been pushing this. I know that there was talk a couple years ago, maybe there was a shadow ban on buying firearms with a credit card. Somebody had reported that at some point in one of these situations, they went to buy a weapon, Visa or the kid, and they went somewhere else and bought gas just fine. That was several years ago. I don't know if there's any videos on that. That is an interesting point that they may have already beta tested this, and now they're just going to roll it out, all powwow together, moral upstanding banks that they are. It's also noted that PayPal, Square, and Apple Pay already do not allow their services for the firearms. Part of it, they don't know the difference. That's a good reason not to use those platforms. They don't believe it's part of their values that sale of firearms on our platform is not consistent with their values or interests of their customers. Dump them while you can if you're still in PayPal, folks. Visa published a 2016 espousability. These people have too much power, folks. We're going to start doing it. MasterCard is the branded card for Cabela's. And I think NRA has a card sponsorship with somebody else too. Oh, Visa has an NRA branded card. First issued by First Bank, part of First National Bank. Together a little bit, but they're trying to slither their way out. They can easily justify selling everything else at Cabela's on a credit card, but they'll just say no weapons. So, Jen pushing old crime, you'd go buy another gun. Indeed, Truth Freeze, they're forming division because that's the only way they can maintain against each other. My hypothesis. KFC branches in the UK are running out of chicken. I'm like, I'll sell them some chicken. Wonder if I can charge double. That's interesting. Where do they grow chickens in the UK? You would think it would be almost overcrowded, but it's just primarily the central cities. This is their sign on this is their tweet, I guess. Out of chicken at KFC. What would unreal. Side, this is just humorous. Those of you that still have that inkling to support Donald Trump, do you really want him for a senator? Seriously? There's nobody else in Utah, apparently, since Mitt Romney's carpet bagging it now. Sagging over to Utah, and I can't think of a bigger travesty than the last idiot they had running that. Oh boy. So that demotivating stuff out of the way. Yeah, in the side chat, remember while you're out there to check up there in the right hand corner of this hanging screen. You'll see the eye icon for other channels on the YouTube that I've put up there for your browsing enjoyment to go check out, see what's going on elsewhere in YouTube stuff. So on the financial side as well, they're coming for your Bitcoin. If you've been fortunate enough to hold in zooming boom in Bitcoin, so that also means the CIA has a boon in Bitcoin. We're talking about Bitcoin trending as the market to a large degree. shows the signs that it's being. Yeah, I think we're probably in that situation, and I'm gonna really try to bring in the red, like, are in Bitcoin and drug dealers and all these bad people. And so we got to come in and regulate it and tax it and make it pretty much worthless for what it was intended to be. Um, I know people really thought these cryptocurrencies are going to be the way out, but if you don't hold your hand, folks, it's too easy for other people using. That's about all you can say about that. So on the Bitcoin side, out in the keep hens and rabbits at least. Truth free is good advice for anybody that can. Somebody want to let you have chickens, at least raise rabbits, right? Breeding pair. Outside his front door, sustain it right there. M. Long says at one time the fourth quarter of Bitcoin. I'll tell you, I don't think that. Let's translate CIA nowadays. Yeah, people do crop layouts for deer. Makes sense for turkeys and bunnies too, right, Crom? I think that's what you call, Crom, domestication. If you're feeding wild turkeys and they come run, you're starting to domesticate them. Happened in the old days. If you think you're having a bad day, uplifting post. Too much bad days a year. Bad days a year. I'm doing above average, I guess, because I think I probably might have a dozen or so, 2 dozen maybe max, depending on the year, I guess. 60. Can you imagine being that bad off? No wonder people are having heart attacks. What the heck? All right, folks. my feed is all over the place today. Sorry about that. But we're talking about 60 bad days a year. And I wonder why people are having heart attacks at the cyclic rate. Lack of sleep is the big issue for 67% of people, and their dissatisfaction on any given day. Yeah, not getting any sleep doesn't help. I mean, can you imagine? We don't have that problem here, right? Don't have a bad day, folks. Actually get sleep. Don't stress. All right, things to bring up. We'll wrap it up here with a fake video. Don't worry, you won't see fake videos here, but AI and all the other computer generation has people concerned that the future, what you see is not what to be believed. I think this has been discussed in depth on a lot of different, with what comes across your TV in different crises, different, lots of things are staged, green screened, lots of events get manipulated using techniques. Coming out with it, and pretty much you see on the net, pretty much. Don't worry, I don't have the capability to do any of this, so you can believe what you see on my channel. They've shown examples of how you can actually fake whole scenes, like cities in the background and people running through the background, porters and stuff. Dog kind of laid a lot of stuff out there. That camera doesn't move and do a 360. You don't know where it was made, and now they got ability to inject things into the screen. They go worst scenario, how it can start nuclear war in here. To stop the spread of fake videos, Facebook, Google, and Twitter would need to show they can make good on recent promises to police their platforms. I mean, how do you like CG video? Seriously, like, how would they do that? Is it any different from all these makeup videos on YouTube with everybody putting on makeup all day? Is it really any more fake than that? All right. All right, up, folks. Nobody anything to add? No situations out in your area that no crises overseas. This morning, thanks for joining us. See you back in the morning. Live free.